Hello, everyone. My bad. I'm late again. I won't even lie to you. Um, I was going over and catching up on some things that were happening. Not the least of which is the giant wildfire going on in America, as well as the new Nvidia prices, both of which are in the red. Let's say. Um, sorry, I just wanted to make that stupid joke. Sorry, I just wanted to make a stupid joke about finance and fires being in the red. Anyways, yeah, it's pretty nuts. Once again, this is not my fault. This is the one thing I can say definitively is not my fault because I don't have control over the weather. I got my French vanilla. We're going to dive into just a little thing that I've seen here. Did you see the 5000 series prices, chat? I don't know if you've seen this. So the prices are they're a little absurd. They're a little absurd. Here, where's the 5090? Sure. Maybe it was all for the bit. Can you imagine all these major life events? I am the Illuminati, and I'm just doing this in order to make stupid jokes on stream. That would be the most narcissistic thing to do. That would be the streamer thing to do. You haven't seen the prices? Well, you're in luck because I'm trying to get the prices. I'm trying to find the place where the prices are. Sorry, it's taking a while to find. With Data Wrapper, you can create visualizations. Give me the 5090 price. I want to see the 5090. Video, oh my god, chat, there's a website called videocards with z.com. This seems like a scam site. Okay, Tom's Hardware, Tommy boy, Tommy. Yeah, we here believe in the eye of providence. So, what are the prices like? Well, let me show you. The prices are a little bit absurd. This is an excerpt of the actual event. So how NVIDIA does this is similar to how Path of Exile 2 does map displays. Sorry, my sister is talking to me. The way the Path of Exile 2 does patch announcements is they announce the announcement and then they do a whole live show. Okay, NVIDIA does the same thing. Basically, graphics cards. The way that they announce it, it's a bit like a Super Bowl show, which is interesting. And then while they were talking about it, they showed the prices. This is official. So starting sometime this month, I think it was at the end of this month, you're looking at a 5090 for $2,000. Now, for comparison, 4090 release price. Let's go to the 4090 release price. We go to let's go to digital trends. I don't know what. Here. I guess Digital Trends has the price. I don't know why it's so hard to find official NVIDIA material at the top of the list. I don't know why NVIDIA doesn't... How come NVIDIA doesn't top out on their own search results? Anyways, so the RTX 90 was at 1600, so it's already 300 more. And this is American dollars, okay? And American dollars are significantly more expensive than Canadian dollars, so I think this is roughly $4,000 in Canadian. For $4,000, you could get like a 5070 and get like an actual decent full computer. For $4,000, you could do a lot with that money. $4,000, you could commission one VTuber model. Maybe half a model if it's got a lot of details on it, right? Like, that's a lot of money if you think about what's going on here. They say the performance is really, really good. And there's a misleading claim of the 5070 being 4090 performance, but not raster performance. So raster performance is the raw performance that you get without any AI enhancements. So no DLSS and no frame gen. They compared them both with DLSS and frame gen, which most games are going to use, and 5070 was faster somewhat, but just raw performance, it's not the same. So we're looking at a pretty impressive lineup of cards here for a very ridiculous price. Mind you, 2080 Ti release price. The 2080 Ti was one of the top cards in the world for a very long time. And I still use a 2080 Ti, and it's still amazing, okay? When it released, launch price was $1,000. Now, I don't know if it's because the cost of things have gone up. There is a lot more difficulty and a lot more engineering going into the manufacturing of the stuff. But to me, this represents a shift in the market to a much higher level of enthusiast gaming than was there before. At least with like a 1080 with a 2080 Ti, you could save up for it and you could reasonably expect to hit it at some point. At 2,000 American dollars, this is now in the realm of you won't be able to have it ever. For most people. The interesting part, though, is that I've heard, this is all sort of like heard, pray tell from the from people who, like, people that I know within the industry, that the enthusiasts with a lot of money basically dominate the upper bracket, and the sales are basically nothing compared to the lower tier cards, like the 5080, 5070 Ti. And once again, they're going with, I don't know why they keep going with this naming scheme. I'm gonna be honest with you. I miss you. You know how, like, Semver was created, so semantic versioning within software. I wish hardware companies did the same thing, because I don't know why they stuck with the 50, 90, 80, 70, 70, and then they use 70 Ti. Because if you imagine little Billy explaining to his mother, "Mom, I need a graphics card," and she sees the 5, but she goes, "Well, where's the 5060 or the 5050? Because there was a 4060. It was a 4060." So yeah, it's everything's all a mess. The price is absurd, and this is just launch prices too. The prices have not stabilized. I think for the 4090s, I think they've only barely gone down, and for about a year afterwards, mind you, it was during COVID too. But for about a year afterwards, the pricing increased because of lack of supply and a lot of trading going around by scalpers, let's say. So I don't think it's going to be 2,000 USD on launch. I think it's going to be closer to 3,000 when all is said and done, because I tried to get into the 4090 waiting list when it initially dropped. I clicked 0.01 seconds after the site was open, and I was already too late. So we're going to see a huge increase in price when it finally gets here. And I wonder if it's going to be worth it, because again, the specs are kind of intense if you look at just the raw numbers. But I'm curious to see how much improvement can be done, because I've also heard from people in the industry that they've basically capped out in terms of raw performance. Like, they can't go any higher. I don't know who to believe, right? I've said this before, and this is not to downplay my friends, but I don't know if my friends are good or bad because I don't know their domain, right? Imagine you have a friend who's a lawyer, and I don't think we have a single lawyer in the chat, right? They can say things about being a lawyer that makes you go, wow, I guess they really know what they're talking about. And then you go to their office and they're treated like a side character in Suits. You know what I mean? They're treated like not even the main character or the secondary character, or now the princess of Britain, but a side character who gets fired by the evil guy, or like by the asshole guy. That's what this feels like. And I wish I had the technical knowledge to know whether or not it was good, but it sounds impressive, and I can't imagine playing VR chat with this thing. Holy shit, can you imagine VR chat with this thing? You don't understand, chat. If I get this, I'm also getting a full body tracker and one of them programmable sex toys, because I need the full body integration. The full realistic experience. Use AI to determine what body part to activate next based on your actions in the game. What's interesting too, though, is that we're seeing this now, where a lot of the games that are coming out aren't really making use of this new technology. Like, a lot of games are still being spec'd for previous generations, and we're only now just starting to see developers dip their toes into the next gen stuff. Game dev is interesting. So this is the weird part. Game hardware is usually cutting edge and next gen. Though now I think it's moved on to the AI world, being cutting edge and next gen. But the software side, so using the software, the drivers, the games themselves, pretty much would never actually use those features until 5-10 years later. So I'm curious when we'll actually get games that will run well even on a 5090 and will use its power fully, right? This would be nice to have for Cyberpunk 2077, but even then, I don't know how much better it makes the experience. This on top of the fact that I don't know where your bottleneck is going to lie and how much of a better processor you're going to need to sort of match performance and not get bottlenecked. Like, there's so many different considerations that I'm now looking at the processor manufacturers to see what's coming out there, and seeing how games can take advantage of that too, in a world that's increasingly more complex to develop for, and where the abstractions are starting to fall apart, right? we've had abstractions for 10, 20 years now, I would say, that have served us, but they're now starting to fall apart because these new paradigms of these new paradigms and new techniques of computing can't fit within the abstractions so cleanly anymore that we now need to think about, okay, how do we build either new abstractions or how do we just use it directly? Which, it it's complicated. That's all I can really say about it because I don't even fully understand it myself. Like going over the documentation for all the new features within certain processors and stuff, and trying to understand what it even does. It's so complicated because the use cases are so niche but so useful too. And yet, if you don't use them, your performance tanks. So there's a lot of different things that are coming out that are breaking the mold and it's going to change how we work with things. But I don't think we'll catch up for a very long time until we go and figure out a good abstraction for everything that just works, right? There was a period of time where it was simple enough where it didn't matter. We just push out more numbers, but with new techniques and just new research being done, like there's a lot of interesting research papers coming out and a lot of new techniques that we're now sort of like co-opting from the AI machine learning side after like years, that it's getting complicated to even think about how to make this stuff. Anyways, all I'm saying is I want 2,000 USD to Canadian. This is $3,000 Canadian, and that's before the tariffs. Sorry. Yeah, I just wanted to show you that because, man, I just want a cool graphics card, man, dude. That's crazy. I remember back then being able to go and buy a graphics card. Like there was a lot of things that you could play that could use the graphics card well, and so it was kind of fun to get the graphics card. Like when Crisis came out, Crisis was the meme. You would get a Crisis card, and you would play Crisis, and you'd be like, "Wow, I've never seen water look so good. Wow, did you see the guy's head? It exploded." And then, "Wow, did you see that grass? It moved." Nowadays, it's all I don't know. There's just nothing that really pushes it except for Cyberpunk. Like of the games I can think of, Cyberpunk. That's it. I like what other high quality game is out there that's gonna push this stuff to the next level that allows us to really experience what it's like to be alive in the virtual world, right? VR, if VR chat had an 8K mode, I think maybe that'd be the best use. But VR is also kind of a weird in a weird spot where all the good stuff is on the MetaQuest, and so it's all spec to MetaQuest specs, which is not PC specs. So there's nothing really that comes to mind that jumps out at me as like, oh yeah, this is a great reason to get the card. I really hope the erotic game industry picks up picks up the slack, right? I find it's really all about the usage and the context, but the erotic game industry has the chance to drive forward innovation for the good of us all, okay? Because as we all know, the water physics for semen came from erotica. I have no clue if that's true. I just read that once, but I'm going to take that as gospel because that's just funny to me. Anyways, that's it. Just wanted to talk about that really quickly. That we're never going. I'm never going to move on from my 2080 Ti. There just isn't really a good reason for it, and it's very hard to find anything cool. Oh, also, that when Final Fantasy Rebirth does come out or is about to come out, we're gonna play the first one as well before we play that because now it's coming to PC, so I can get it because I'm not buying a PS5 for that shit. And I've been wanting to play it for a long time, and I forgot everything from the first game, so it's good to play that game again because I really do enjoy Final Fantasy, but it's a bit hard. And also, I've committed to finishing the games that we didn't finish since 2 years ago now, and I realize that's just absurd. So we're gonna try to finish as many games as we can. As well, what was I gonna say? Sorry, short-term memory loss. I need to go back and figure out what I was doing. What was I gonna say? It was specifically about Final Fantasy. Wasn't about Final Fantasy 7. Who the fuck cares about Final Fantasy 7? It was something very the Infinity Nikki stuff. My bad. I didn't get enough time to think about what the stuff was. So I don't have any criteria for you yet. It will be tonight because I figured out some things about the second one. I know what the first one is. I think I have something for the second one. It's the third one that trips me up because November, I'm not kidding you. The only holiday that I know of in November that's not really a holiday in Canada is Remembrance Day, Wait, is it November? Sorry, sorry, in January. Sorry, I don't know why I'm. You can tell something's wrong with me. I'm still in November land, okay? But anyways, there's no holidays from November. Like of the months that don't have holidays, it's more of those than there are months with holidays, right? October, December, those have holidays, and then February, and that's it. Of those three holidays, I can't think of anything else. You have Christmas, you have Halloween, and you have Valentine's. Those are the three I feel like most universal ones. Okay, November has Remembrance Day, which is when the Canadians remember when we lost a bunch of people. That's not really happy, and I don't know if we should dress up for that. It's a good holiday to have, but I don't know if we should dress up for it. All right, that doesn't feel like the right day to cosplay. And in January, what the fuck happens in January? Like there are no holidays in January. January to me, and this is something that I was thinking about for the criteria, was I was going to make it so that one of the criteria was like office wear because what January to me represents is that dreaded month where you have to go back to the office after you've taken your 2 week holiday. The problem is I don't want to make all of you depressed. I don't want to make you depressed. I don't know what to do. It's like I can't make you depressed. I can't make you happy. But I have to do something. It feels. I don't know. Maybe we'll just say like I don't know. Dress up in your kinkiest outfit. I don't know. We'll just figure it out. I want to make the game sexual, right? I don't want the game to go gone sexual because then I'll get banned. Life is hard. Anyways, I got some cool things for y'all today. Okay, we're going to be doing some weird things today. Some weird, and then we're going to continue beyond Citadel after. Okay, because that game has been on my mind. There's a lot to talk about that game that I've been thinking about. I got some weird demos of games that I've been looking forward to for a while now that I think are going to be very interesting and that I want to try some more of with you here. I tried one of them off screen and that was a mistake because as soon as it hit, I was like, damn, that's a very good demo. But I'm very excited for these games and there's something interesting about how these things work. There's also one game that's just strange. It's just a very strange game to see that's apparently coming out this year. That it looks genuinely hilarious the way that it works. And I figured it'd be fun to sort of break up the pacing of today's stream with more smaller bits and pieces for us to have fun with. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. These demos are very strange. One of them is kind of horror adjacent, but I don't think we're going to scream. It's a very slow game. I have a song for you all actually before we start though. I need to find the non-music video version because you get the music video link. I don't want the music video link because the music video has him playing the flute at the beginning, and I'm like, I don't know why he's playing the flute, but you know what? Okay, so this song is interesting. When I posted the song in the music channel, I mentioned that this guy, I have a very similar hairstyle to him, except not dyed white, because my wife said if I dye my hair, I'm going to go bald, and I get it. You know, it's understandable. She isn't wrong. I would go bald because there's no way my hair would survive. But there's some really cool aesthetic about the song's music video that I really enjoy. That sort of harkens back to the days when my country was a part of an empire and also was its own empire. Basically, it's that you know. You ever get that masculine urge to just drop everything that you know, join a martial arts sect, and you know, build up your Tandian, your key in your key center in your Tandian until you finally become a supreme demon and you fight for the honor of your sect? I do. This is another Vietnamese song. I won't bother pronouncing it because I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know how to read the accent, so I have no clue. And none of the words look recognizable to me, so but I understand the lyrics. I just don't know how to convert from reading to speaking. I basically have the reading skills of a 5-year-old, but I have the speaking skills of like a 20-year-old. So let's figure this out. It's a great song though, and I think you'll enjoy it. Hopefully, it'll set the pace for today's stream. Please enjoy whatever the song is called. You know, somebody singing and somebody talking at the same time, or like at like two different places. That's what it used to sound like back then. Okay, so now we're looking at this and we're seeing this. It used to be that songs were divided into sections where there would be rap and singing. And what I'm noticing is that popular music now in this time is getting back to that point where it's like there's a mix of the two, right? I think we just finished the hip hop era of like music, and then just before then it was the melody era. So it's funny to see it coming back, and hearing this song reminded me of that pattern because this artist in particular does that. He's It's interesting because all of his songs. I don't think he has a single song where he only sings. He always does a rap, well, kind of like hip hop style plus singing. But even the popular songs today, there's this one really popular rapper. I forget his name now. It's Van something. I forget his name now. But he's very popular. He has like a mustache. He has like a beard. Like a small one. If you know, then you know. He's. But we're seeing that trend again, and it's spreading all across the land. And I'm gonna say this right now. I've always hated when songs mix rap and melody because it always had a jarring transition between the both of them. Except this song and even the newer songs that are doing it aren't as jarring. So way back when you'd see like, a rapper and a singer on a song, it would feel like two different songs mashed together and it didn't sound very nice. Now everything blends together so well because they switch between these two modes, and even the singing takes on qualities of rap and almost poetry in a way. And so what you see is a very interesting blend of these two genres now that is now being perfected. Honor, Chad, honor. And I enjoy that a lot more, right? So playing this song, it's funny to think that the music industry is cyclical, but so far I've seen 3 cycles of this, and we're on the 3rd cycle. That is to say, I'm very old now because it's like every 10 years. But it's cool to see because it was neat for a bit. I'm just waiting for when MGMT becomes popular again, right? Like I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for this song to be hot again. All right, I feel like this song didn't have enough time on the airwaves, even though I play it every single day. I want this every single day again. You know that one torture scene in Metal Gear Solid when Snake is being tortured on the electric chair? I imagine this is a song that plays in his head because the time frame I think fits. Although actually I don't know. I can't remember if it was the modern game or the older game. Was it Snake Eater when that happened, when he was back in like the Cold War 19 somethings, or was it the newer one when he was Solid Snake? If it was the newer one, then it's this song. If it's the older one, then it's some, I don't know, it's some Beatles song. But yeah, I hope we go back to this era because boy oh boy, there's that song Nice Here. And we're slowly getting there. I think we're slowly cycling back to this era. Okay, so what I've just shown you was 2 different sides of the eras, and whatever music that's popular now is that sort of like hip hop focus area. So we're slowly cycling through these like 3 different cycles, and we'll just keep coming back to it at some points. But yeah, I do kind of wish we go back to this era because I really enjoyed these types of songs because I can't keep track of words. Whenever someone speaks to me in a song, it doesn't feel like they're speaking to me. It feels like they're speaking at me, and I just can't understand what they're saying. It's very hard to keep track of words. Hello, Mod. Holy shit, Mod. Okay, it's a good thing that you're here. You were in my dream. All of you were, actually. Our entire friend group was in my dream. So my dream was very strange, actually. So we had just finished at the wedding. We had just finished the reception of the wedding, and we were all walking to the restaurant for a social munch. I know her in real life. And then I was walking, and it was all of us, right? And then it was, me, her, and her boyfriend on the side. And then all of a sudden, we had to walk past an airfield. And I was like, okay, this is weird. And all of a sudden, the Mod said, hey, I know how to fly one of these. So she got into the airplane, and she's doing like loops in the air, right? And I'm like, why are you doing this? And her boyfriend is standing beside me, and then all he says to me is, so yeah, she started doing this after she watched your American Truck Simulator streams. I was like, what do you mean? And she landed, and then I asked the Mod, I was like, did you really start doing this because of my streams? And she said, sure. And then she just walked in. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I mean, it's a good thing that you came, because I forgot about my dream until you just joined, and I was like, okay, that's it. I have to tell you, because it's a very weird dream. I'm glad that my American Truck Simulator streams inspired you to drive to fly a plane. For a second, you thought that I said me and her boyfriend. Well, she does have a boyfriend, and it was me and her boyfriend. Anyways, by the way, I forgot to show you this as well. So, for the past, let's say, a week, I've been opening up my camera app because people will bring stuff to the door. My camera app is my camera company is putting I have security cameras from this company. They have a contest where you have to make a fake. No, I'm not even kidding you. A fake YouTube prank video where you need to pretend to steal your own package and pretend to pull on your car door, and you get $2 per minute of footage. But and it's up to $80,000. So if you make a video that is 40,000 minutes long, 40,000 minutes, by the way, if you divide that, is 600 hours, which if you divide that by 40 hours per week, is about 16 weeks of a work, which is about a couple months. You can make $80,000 in about 4 weeks, in about 4 months. And I don't know why they're doing this, but I just want you to know that they have a section of their forums called Crime Watch. So, and this is I'm not kidding you. This is a real section of the Eufy security camera. Okay, real section called Crime Watch, where people post videos of their cameras catching crime in action. And I wish it loaded, because holy chat, you don't understand. This is like, mind you, this is like real crime, okay? And they're like, for your reference, for you to know what to do for your fake video, please check out this section of our forums dedicated to real actual crime that has to be submitted to the police. It's not loading here, unfortunately. I think it's my ad block, but it was loading on my phone. This whole section, there's just tons of references. Like, this is a real criminal. This is also a real criminal. These are real dudes trying to steal things. And they just have a whole forum section for it. And people posted like bloods for it. And for what? For 80,000? I feel like this is a dark timeline. This is like a Black Mirror timeline. And what's funny is that within I think a single day, they had 34 quote unquote donations. So they call the videos donations because they're going to use this for promotional video. Oh, and also enhancing the AI. Oh man, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. Anyways, this is what machine learning is like nowadays. Not sus at all. Not sus at all. Give me a moment. We're gonna move on to the games now. Sorry for bombarding you with the music, but I just thought you should all listen to the songs, set the mood, as well as just so I can show you these things and talk about these things, because it's so fucking funny and weird. Give me a moment to set things up. We're going to be playing a game called Building Relationships. It's a demo for this game, and I think you'll really enjoy this. Give me a moment to set things up. You know how I said I'm hoping that it keeps up the same vibe? Well, sorry, I forgot that the rest of the demos are a very different vibe. But we're gonna go on to an interesting game demo about... It looks almost like a GTA type sim, but instead of being the criminal, you're the police officer. It's called The Precinct. Give me a moment to set things up, but I just want you to know it probably won't be as funny, although maybe it leans into... Maybe it'll be funny in like an LA Noire type of way, but I highly doubt it. This game was fantastic though, but how do we leave? How do you leave the game? How do you leave the game? How do you... Oh. Well, that's an interesting button. I ran out of time to implement the... What? No, don't. Okay, Alt F4. Okay, let's just... Okay, well, that's interesting. I really enjoyed the game a lot. But now we're moving on to something that has hopefully a little bit of a less comedic angle. Because this one does actually seem like a very interesting, fun sort of action-style game. And I'm very curious to see if it works. Give me a moment to set things up. I will be right back in a moment. I need some more coffee and French vanilla. And when we're back, we're going to actually go on to Beyond Citadel. Because both this and the Building Relationships game took far longer than I would have imagined. I want you all to think about the Costco hot dog, which is a quarter-pound, 110-gram hot dog sold at the International Warehouse at Club. Sorry about that. Sorry. Taking out the trash took a bit longer than expected. You know, it's kind of hard to swim to Guantanamo Bay while you're holding someone's hands. We're gonna move on now to Beyond Citadel, because that game has been on my mind. There's a lot to talk about with that game, and there's a lot of different pieces I want to show and really sort of think about. I really enjoy what that game is going for, and I couldn't get it off my mind since last night, because just like the first game, there's something. It's just a strange type of game, and I almost can't believe how good it is. The problem, it doesn't have a category, so I think I'll just use the Citadel category because I feel like that's the only category that really fits. However, that game is also getting more and more players in it, and I'm glad because I feel like more people should know about this game. It's I don't know how they've done it, but they've spun a genuinely interesting world with a very interesting lore, with a lot of religious influences, and taking those concepts and sort of like turning it into body horror. I think they've done a fantastic job so far. So go into it. We're going to go into it. Let me take a sip of my coffee. I'm going to go right into this game. Just give me a moment to set things up. I'm out. See you all tomorrow. There'll be more fun, weird things tomorrow. Maybe not as weird as this. I think this takes the cake for how weird this is. Like between these two scenes, there's really only so much you can think about this. I swear to God, I'll start on time tomorrow. I won't even tell you the time ahead of time. Just be there and you'll know that I'm on time. Because I can't go this late anymore. I just don't want to. Thanks for watching today. Hope you guys enjoyed those weird demos we played earlier as well as this game. Next week, actually, is going to be a good time. And keep an eye on the Discord. Either tonight or tomorrow morning during the stream, I'll post the criteria for the next Infinity Nikki contest. So I have an idea of what I want to do, and this game somewhat inspired me. I know that sounds terrifying, but I think you'll enjoy what I've got. Sadly, not every month has a holiday, so it gets hard to think of ideas. Holidays sort of lend themselves to natural ideas around a theme, but I think we have a concept here. We have a concept that's like brewing, yeah? Like between these two images, we have a good concept brewing. Bye, everyone. Have a good night. And again, to anyone who raids me, thank you so much. I feel bad for not being able to raid you back. Honestly, time zone stuff sucks. I wish I was in a time zone where I could raid you the other way around, because I want to send people to you, and so they have a refresher of sorts. Like, I feel bad for people who come join my stream and are bombarded by incest. And then I think I should send them somewhere else, but that's just the way things are. Bye, everyone.